Ladies and gentlemen, this is UX and this is GTA 3 review, the worst game of all time by the channel UberDanger. Does Grand Theft Auto 3 hold up 17 years after its release, or will playing its settle my treasured childhood nostalgia for the granddaddy of modern GTA games? Okay, come on. You can't really compare GTA 5 with GTA 3. It's a fucking immense gap, right? GTA 3 was literally the first 3D Grand Theft Auto game, right? And as far as I remember, I guess it was one of my earliest games ever, I guess, right? I'm pretty sure it was like, I can't remember any later game before that I played. So GTA 3 is literally one of the first games that I ever played. So I definitely remember it's like, oh yeah, this was some game. So I will have some nostalgia feel, definitely, because I played it then, but then I never revisited it again. GTA 3, then Vice City, then San Andreas, I played 4, then I played other, then GTA 5. I never went back and played GTA 3. So it'll be some experience, so let's watch it. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, check out the reaction, this link in the description, check out the cards, check out the ink cards in here.
Have you ever spent a good 20 minutes of your life completing a tough mission and then right at the end of it, you whee!
What?
I fucking love this game. This game is great. If I just ended the review there, it would still be legitimate. But what if I told you there's other stuff than
This doesn't
flying
make it
tanks
worse,
and
come on.
terrible game physics? What if I told you there's 2001 voice acting?
Señor Dickhead!
Well, I got news for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Shooting you will be a pleasure, but dating you was only business. Ooh-wee.
You've got objective-based missions.
Oh, why play San Andreas music? Okay. Yeah, the voice acting even in Vice City was like bad. Like, okay, this is really like third rate as it can be. But then again, the Rockstar didn't put emphasis on story at all at those earliest games. It was all about gameplay, like how you do in the real world rather than an actual story.
With NPCs.
Look at that.
And an M16 that can shoot 60 bullets in 0.3
Oh, yeah.
seconds. And no, I'm not exaggerating. We got police that will murder hundreds and drive into certain death if it means even making a
Oh
dent
my
in your car. This cop gets run over by a cop, and naturally I can see how that was actually my fault. Now call me a bit of a victim, Blake.
Well, let's be honest, they wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for you. So it's kind of your fault. If a cop destroys an entire skyscraper, that's your fault. That's how it goes. And that jumping thing, man. The GTA meme, literally one of the big first meme, I guess, was like, jumping after somebody, right? Especially in the water. I'm pretty sure South Park, even I think Family Guy also did that joke, right? Like somebody jumps there and suddenly every cop car just basically crash on him in water or something. That shit started with this game. Right? In this game, whatever you do, people literally, without any sense, just follow you, right? Everybody just drowns with you. All the cops, cars, and everything. This was the first time I saw that. Like, this is so hilarious.
But I think we need to ask some important questions here. When he got killed, where was the cop standing? If women
That's
enter
what I'll
the
think is wrong,
passenger
man.
seat and you drive to a remote location, your car may start bumping, at which point you'll magically regenerate health and lose money. This allows your health to go all the way up to 125. Now, if the passenger was to get in an unfortunate car accident, they would happen to have on them the exact amount of money that mysteriously disappeared from your wallet.
Also, the feet thing. Every time somebody dies, obviously everybody dies and there's blood. It's like, okay, it doesn't matter how you die, there's going to be a pool of blood there. And if you walk over them, your feet actually gets, red blood on it. So every time you walk, your feet, makes a red track there. It's so fucking ridiculous. This game was, I'm pretty sure he means this more of a sarcastic way, the worst game of all time. He doesn't really believe it, because this game was literally the first. Right? It started a lot of things. All the GTA thing we remember, it started with this game. All the lawsuits and all the people bitching about how games are a problem, it was with this game, where people basically, hit prostitutes and shit like that. People think it's San Andreas. It's not just San Andreas. It started with this one. This was the first game that started controversy, because this is the first game that was 3D. GTA 1 and 2 was two-dimensional games, right? This is the first time Rockstar attempted a three-dimensional game like that. And we already know how hard it is to make a three-dimensional, GTA style game, modern game. I mean, look at how badly CD Projekt Red fucked up, right? It's not a joke to make games like this. Doesn't matter what. And this game is from 2001. First time Rockstar is making this. And, considering all that, game was so awesome.
And generally speaking, if you like games from the era
Mafia
before
versus
they
us.
really knew how to make them, then this is certainly
They just
the game
walk
for
away.
you. GTA 3 comes factory-packed with motion blur and frame interpolation, along with the worst gun aiming humanity's ever devised. In fact, let's just get it out of the way.
Game doesn't look that
This
bad for
game
2001,
has
man.
aged like the milk on my wall.
I mean,
Very
lighting and
poorly.
things.
Yet, much like the death mold that deemed my apartment legally unfit for human life, the game has an intrinsic charm to it, and with only 14 different mods, it's actually semi-playable on PC. The formula is extremely simple. The game revolves around you driving around, killing and looting, getting into a bigger and bigger conflict with the law, ranging from a minor crime at 1 stars to being
Oh, the
hunted
Yakuza
down
second
by
edit.
tanks and the Kalashnikov-wielding FBI at 6 stars. If at all possible, avoid
The armies
driving
here.
into the tanks. The missions is actually the side content you go through to unlock new areas, and so that the actual gameplay doesn't get repetitive. Speaking of the core gameplay, it's actually really fucking good. You can instigate a literal gang war without coming into conflict with the law, but make one tiny scratch in the side of a police car, and within minutes, you'll have the FBI and entire armed forces hunting you down for your severe crime against
It
humanity.
is NYPD in the end.
We've got 8-bit facial textures and dummy thick NPC coding, which I actually prefer. They'll follow me anywhere. I jump
This
into
is
the
so
water
good.
and drown. He jumps into the water and drowns. I drive over the bridge held up
Cheetah,
by
the
the
cars
FBI.
then. Oh, this is-
He drives over the bridge held up.
I even remember the cars' names, man. I mean, you don't forget your first great game experience, right? And I was a kid at the time, right? And I think I just played NFS 2, if I remember correctly. It was like one of the earliest games. Then I got my hand with GTA 3, and this was the first game that I properly played. Not just for a few minutes here and there, no, for hours, right? So I remember all the cars' names and things. It's ridiculous.
By the FBI. I decide to practice Muay Thai on him because there's no exit mission feature. It turns out he's
Get the kicks.
exceptional at hand-to-hand combat. GTA 3 has hands down the best radio in any video game I've ever played.
Just like Fellini's Lolita, innocent yet endlessly corrupting.
But seriously, this is the granddaddy of modern GTA games, and
Yeah.
along with San Andreas, some of my most formative games growing up. I remember all this shit, like this.
Did you forget Vice City? What the fuck? Vice City was epic. I mean, it was properly. I mean, everything about Vice City was epic. I mean, come on, man. I get it. San Andreas was just better, but that's the case with Grand Theft Autos, right? That's not the case. GTA 4 wasn't better than San Andreas, but still, Vice City was so good. Everything about Miami and things. San Andreas was also great with different setting, and it was just epic. But yeah, GTA 3 was epic for the game. First of all, this was literally the beginning of things in Grand Theft Auto, right? So with that being in mind, this was so good. Then Vice City was just amped up. San Andreas was even more amped up. Like it's literally a game of generation. Everybody knows San Andreas, right? You won't find anybody who doesn't know about San Andreas. That's how big it was. And then GTA 4, mechanically, all the engines and things, it was an improvement. GTA 5, we already know how great that is.
Spectrum of ways to get a tank. The quickest is of course a cheat code, but that's preschool baby mode. You could
Yes.
also complete every mission in the game, but that's honestly just a bad investment. No, what you really want.
Yeah, when I played the game, I didn't know thing like cheat code existed. So I played the game with obvious. I didn't know mods exist. So I just played game 0 to the end without any cheat codes, without any mod. Yeah, it was just fucking
Get
ridiculous.
to this mission where there's a locked tank.
Oh, yeah.
You're then gonna want to push it all the way across the city to your home. Running
What?
into the tank causes immense vehicle damage. Once you make it, you want to push that bad boy into your garage, save, and voila, they just turned a
Damn.
boy into a man. The fourth and absolute most respectable way to get a tank is to go on a tear and destroy everything till you get a 6-star wanted level, at which point it's technically possible to steal a tank, although it's nearly fucking impossible to get 6 stars. Taking this
Fancy.
sandbox to its limits is brutally difficult, and I question whether that's by design or lack thereof. When a vehicle in GTA 3 is turned upside down, it becomes a car bomb.
Yeah.
Vehicles flip over very easily, and you've got a fuck ton of plot armor. Whilst exiting, entering, or driving in a vehicle, you're entirely immune to...
What's ridiculous about this is like lots of I think Family Guy also did that many times, and lots of other people did that. That every time something flips over, it immediately starts to burn and explode. It just started with this shit. I mean, how ridiculously famous GTA was that it became a thing at Family Guy and everywhere.
bullets. You can, however, at any given time be arrested point blank by a police officer, even in a tank or if he dies
it's
while
annoying, really.
arresting you. And it's a real 50-50 if you choose to sprint on an edged surface.
But this never happened to me.
That was magnificent.
GTA 3 really has it all. It's set in definitely not New York, right next to definitely not Staten Island. No, it's Staunton Island, which is the much nicer area you'll get to later in the game. One of the many parts of GTA 3 that doesn't reflect reality. Another trick if you want to go to Shoreside Vale before you unlock it is you can just grab a boat. Now there's these giant barriers as to stop you from going there, so I drive this bad boy ashore and go the distance. Right here at the end of my journey, I actually didn't regret how I'd spent the last 10 minutes of my life. It was only after I forgot to get in the boat that it dawned on me that deep down I truly wish I could have those 10 minutes back. This game is a bit like...
As soon as you throw the boat in, I'm like, okay, are you gonna accurately jump in or something? How are you gonna do that?
gambling. Whenever it steals 10 minutes of my life, I make up for it by spending another 20. Here's the bottom line. According to the Wikipedia for this game, it boasts first-person shooting with several weapons. And according to the dialogue,
they've been selling Spank through the street stalls.
It's about Colombian street gangs selling Spank through coffee machines. Personally, I disagree entirely. This game isn't about pushing Spank. It's about pushing tank. On a serious note, the way they designed this game actually fucks with me. The tab targeting is incomprehensibly bad, and to top it off, the aiming and sensitivity of the 3 weapons that allow it are all vastly different. The only thing they have in common is that it's appalling. If not for the insurmountable...
Whose fault is it to play it on what? PlayStation or like Xbox? I don't know. Whose fault is it to play it on console? You should have played it on PC, man.
recoil, the M16 would be the best gun in any game. Luckily for the NPCs, they don't have recoil.
Wait a minute, he does play it on PC. He says mods. You can't add mods with PlayStation and Xbox or something. So what, he's playing with controller or something?
I tried and don't understand how it's humanly possible to complete the sniper missions with a controller. There's this mission where you gotta get some cars into a garage in pristine condition. They make you drive slower as to not hit anything. When you inevitably slightly touch anything, it turns out the paint spray to fix the car and lose the cops is right fucking next to the garage for the car. Now I'm pressured on time, and it's really starting to stress me out how slow the fastest vehicle in the game drives in reverse. If there's one thing to take away, it's that this game has made me dearly regret following the law and driving orderly. GTA 3 missions are the cinnamon coke zero of objective-based video game design. They make you drive to the other island to pick up a secret package in an airplane. They didn't tell you that the airplane was surrounded by gang members. I die and spawn in the hospital for Shoreside Vale, making me drive all the way back to accept the mission. Then go all the way back to the airport, manage to take out the enemies. Now they make you drive all the way back to the other island to this
Yes, I remember that
site.
part.
I carefully use the precision controls to take out this guy, and also this guy. Because I'm not doing this mission over again. I'm not doing all that shit again. What they don't inform you of is that there's hit scan enemies with automatic weapons right around the corner. So naturally, you gotta do it all over again. And guess what? Every fucking time you drive to the goddamn fucking airport, It's RNG and how they're standing and they just fucking shoot your car. Fuck! This game is the first time I've ever appreciated that other games have fast travel. By the way, don't try to fly the airplane. It was not meant to be flown. Or what about this
Oh
shit?
yeah, what the fuck was that about? Holy shit, I remember that. Every time you fly, what's the name of the plane? Ah, fuck. Damn it, I forgot the name. Every time you try to fly it doesn't fly, and I'm like, okay, so this game doesn't do flying, I guess. And in Vice City, you can't fly the planes. I remember playing Vice City, and you fly the plane. Like, what the fuck? This thing flies? Okay, that's first. I remember that. And yeah, the flying thing was so ridiculous. Holy shit. Man, the game was so good, even with all those flaws, right? The game was so good all around. And the terrain, right? The island you start on, then the island you progress to feels like more like downtown type of city. And the last island I think you come across has this kind of mountainous roads and tunnels and shit. It was very different.
Go take this boat and move at a snail's pace all the way out to this marker. Now, you gotta wait and shoot down an airplane. Like this seasoned GTA veteran I am, I had a better idea. I drive the boat onto this concrete square and effectively dispose of the enemies using the patented precision controls. Once the airplane approaches, I nail that shit first try and jump in the boat, only to realize the airplane drops these packages that I had to pick up. I'm low health as fuck and there's a chopper
didn't listen to the
shooting at
mission?
me. By some dark magic, I actually managed to make this glitchy ass jump, then somehow dodge every bullet from the chopper, only to die because I ran on top of the package I was supposed to pick up.
Let's be honest, the way he jumped in and where he jumped in, he didn't want to survive that mission. He wanted to drown. It was just miracle that he just, just came there. Because he could have reversed a bit where there is a ramp, and he could have tried to jump from there. He just jumped from here. There's no way in hell you could have made it, but apparently he glitched out.
On my 5th attempt, I actually managed to nail the plane again. With the precision turning, I pick up all the packages, and then my game crashes for no apparent reason. As I finally complete the mission on my 12th attempt, I feel a bit scummed out, considering I literally did it on my first fucking try. What infuriates me about the
Cheetah,
missions in
I
GTA
think.
3 is not that they're difficult by design, it's that I have to do them over and over again for a fucking eternity. All because the game crashed or because the gun aiming was coded on a maxi pad. When I actually get around to dying to all the bullshit they intended, I've already completed the mission several times over. God, I hate this game. I hate it so much. Go buy it now, but fuck do I hate this game. Seriously. Buy the bundle with Vice City and San Andreas, give Rockstar your money, and at the same time, unironically, Lord, I despise this vile creation. Escort mission. Follow this dumb fuck who drives half as fast as my grandma. With no sense of urgency, drive all the way through the underground, only for the van to get shot immediately when exiting on the other side. I retry this scumfuck mission and the
Yeah, I think this game is designed for a kid, right? Who doesn't have better things to do, so he can just retry the mission without getting frustrated. I don't remember all these bugs and crashes. I think he's playing on a newer PC compared to, I'm pretty sure he's not playing it on Windows XP or something. I guess the game is not compatible. Lots of games, old games are not compatible with the newer. Even Windows 7, it's not compatible, I think. So I guess that's why he's having all these problems.
bastard driving the escort yet again moves with no haste. 10 minutes later, right at the end of the mission, he gets stuck on a wall. This is all quite infuriating. The silver lining is that when the game works, it just fucking works.
I'm sorry that as soon as you press the button and somehow you start the animation to open the door, at that point you just become a fucking action movie star, right? Was that Angelina Jolie in Wanted or something who does ridiculous stunt while driving a car? Oh god, this is so good. This is similar to that. I'm gonna open the door.
I had gotten to the final mission in the game. I start off with only a pistol
Oh,
in the middle
Catalina.
of 20 Colombian gang members armed to the teeth. I'm supposed to follow the chopper, then make my way through the most intense sequence of gunplay in the game. We're talking barricades, a multitude of vehicles, and hit-scan laser NPCs armed with M16s, AK-47s, and for whatever reason, flamethrowers, all whilst a chopper rains down missile fire. It takes about 5 minutes to even restart the mission if you fail, and did I mention it's on a timer? Now, whilst that does sound very intriguing, I'd actually rather do anything else than going through the 9th circle of video game hell. At first I tried scaling the wall behind the building using Rockstar's patented edged surface gameplay, yet they were smart enough to put an invisible wall as to prevent players from cheating. I humbly accepted defeat, after which I completed the game just like the developers intended. Nah. Now, I may not have gotten it on my first attempt. What if I told you that after 2 hours, I found out that I needed to activate a certain cutscene to even get to the part where I'm supposed to destroy the chopper.
Okay.
Destroy everything, almost all the way to the building, then go all the way back and attempt to hit the chopper with a flying tank.
Why? But at this point, why use tank? He turned GTA 3 into Saints Row at this point. Look how bitch his tank.
And what if I told you I did that over and over and over again until I'd spent a total 5 hours of my life before it finally happened? At which point it dawned on me that the chopper is an indestructible mission object that can only be activated by hitting it with a rocket launcher. And imagine my immeasurable disappointment when I then painstakingly, no bullshit, actually complete the game, only to find that on the very last frame of the chopper blowing up, GTA 3 crashes. No fucking way. Here's the bottom line, gentlemen.
Alright. Obviously they did that shit so people won't just cut out the middleman and finish the game. Even they should have kept that in. So if you use innovation to finish a mission earlier, that's just like more rewarding, isn't it? Is that really cheating? But then again, the older engines, we take this for granted a lot. The older engines, lots of objects didn't have a hit point, right? They were just for their appearance there, like just aesthetics, rather than actual physical thing inside the game engine, right? Because you need a massive processing power just to process all that. So that's why in lots of older games, if you hit something like airplanes or something that is already flying there, I think in GTA 3, even in the Vice City San Andreas, it won't hit it because it's just for aesthetic. It's not real even inside the engine, right? We take that for granted nowadays because obviously in today's world with all these i7s and i5s, right, all these processing powers, everything will probably have some kind of hit point. You can hit it one way or another. But I guess that could have been the reason, but I highly doubt that's the only reason. I guess they did it so nobody just cheated out of the way. But then again, you give all these different kind of cheat codes and things that people can easily overcome. Why do this one, right? I mean, I guess they wanted the last mission to be as hardcore as it, because let's be honest, this is from 2001, and in the 90s games were more action oriented than anything. Like you have to have 1 million people to kill and basically big boss in the end or something like that just to feel like this game was hard. So this kind of had the 90s mentality to it, like we have to make this last mission as long as possible and as hard as possible for them to enjoy or something like that. That's why they probably made it invisible.
Pretty much
Invincible.
every single glitch in the entire game be linked with the fact that I've unlocked the frame rate? Possibly. Could
Yeah.
all the crashes be caused by the 14 different
Wait
mods?
a minute, so it was the origin GTA 3 only at 30 frames per second even on PC? I don't remember that. But then again, at the time, I wouldn't have noticed the 30 frames per second. Okay, so he made it 60 frames per second. Is that it? Yeah, of course that's gonna cause issues.
Have installed? Likely. And did I base my arbitrary rating entirely on whether or not the game lets you fly a tank into a chopper? Absolutely. 0 out of 10. This game is fucking trash.
Saints
One
Row
of
is for you,
man's
my friend.
worst creations. Unexpectedly so, playing this game 17 years after its release has not rekindled my treasured childhood memory of it, but rather completely smeared shit all over the nostalgia I had for this game. Enough is enough. This is where I draw the fucking line.
So I opened up my computer and this is my D drive. It's got my full GTA 3 installed, including all my save data. And I'm thinking we're just gonna plop this bad boy right in here. Oh, it does. Oh. Fuck. Oh.
I think that's damaging the outer shell more than inside real. Is real gonna get damaged? Okay. Seriously, man, GTA 3 had lots of flaws. I don't remember much of them, but compared to the other games, it wasn't good compared to the Vice City, San Andreas. But it's literally the first 3D GTA game, right? This is where all the GTA things started. There was GTA 1 and 2, but you can't really, compare that with the newer 3D universe games, right? It doesn't feel the same GTA. The GTA that we know that we call GTA, right? Not just we, all the basically people who blame GTA for people's violence and shit, like punching a prostitute, this and that is gonna cause all the children's issues and things and that. This all started with this GTA 3, right? This is literally the first one, right? And considering that, and considering how hard it is to make a game like GTA in modern world, basically, right? I mean, Saints Row is incredible, but even in Saints Row, you can feel lots of things like driving a car and something here and there. It feels off compared to the GTA, right? So far only Rockstar can pull this shit off, and they've been doing a great job since the GTA 3, right? This game is from 2001. Are you kidding me? It looks good for 2001. And after that, Vice City, I mean, it was a massive jump. If you play GTA 3 and then suddenly go to Vice City, which I did, I played GTA 3. I was, then after playing GTA 3, after a few months at best, and I've picked up Vice City, right? Okay, what is this? Oh, there's something as GTA Vice City. I played that, and holy shit, it was way too much a difference overall. The game engine, graphics, and everything. So it was a massive jump. Then San Andreas, then fucking GTA 4, GTA 5 was Well, that was GTA 3. Literally one of my first big games that I played. Not just big game, literally the first game that I played at length. So technically my first game that I ever played. And this was by the UberDanger, great channel. I like all the efforts he's putting into this one. So yeah, if you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. Check out the reaction, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards, everything cards in here. I'll see you next time.